Won't it be Ryan the Great? And today we are talking some NBA news for you guys, highlighted by LeBron James picking up his player option with the Los Angeles Lakers. That being, I believe, 52 million. Yes, $52.6 million. That is absolutely insane. But yeah, kind of like what we did last video when it came to the news. We're just going to break down everything that's pretty much happened here in the NBA. Free agency, trades, player options. I know today, that being June 29th, so yesterday for you guys, was the day that, what do you call it, players could decline or pick up their player options. So, and teams had to decide whether they wanted to pick up their team options for players. So yeah, lots going on, lots of players who declined, accepted, yada, yada, yada. We'll be going over some players who opted in, opted out, trades, and all that good stuff. But once again, this is highlighted by LeBron James picking up his player option with the Los Angeles Lakers. So let's get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Lee of the Great Blogs. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Combat Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on XR on the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Ryan Sully Sports Media. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video. Also, disclaimer, everything happening before or after, June 29th at 9 p.m. Obviously not going to be discussed in this video. I'm just trying to get all the news out, my reactions to all that before free agency officially begins, and then we'll get separate videos on the biggest moves and stuff like this on moves that can kind of just be bundled all together. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So starting off, obviously the highlight of this video, the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James. All these moves from Shams Charania, or all the tweets I'm reading are from Shams Charania. So, breaking. The Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James is opting into his $52.6 million player option for the 2025-2026 season. Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul told ESPN. Paul adds, LeBron, quote, knows the Lakers are building for the future, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all, end quote. So, what does this mean for the Los Angeles Lakers? First thing, LeBron is a reported billionaire. Why can't he take a pay cut? Now, if you look at the salary for the 2025-2026 season for the Los Angeles Lakers, they're not over the second apron. So that's good. They're not completely handicapped. But you are not really able to make that many moves. Dorian Finney-Smith, he declined his player option, and in my opinion, I don't think he returns to the Los Angeles Lakers. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. You're going to have to sign Luka Doncic to a contract in the offseason because he is signed for this season. Then he has a player option for the 2026-2027 season. You're going to have to sign him to a new contract extension, that being in August. So you'll worry about that when you get there. But you look at your team now, it's not that great. I mean, you're probably going to have to end up trading Roy Hachimura as well, who's owed $18 million next season. Once again, I don't believe that Dorian Finney-Smith returns to your team. Austin Reeves might have to go. You're going to have to sign him to a contract extension because he is a player option for the 2026-2027 season. You might have to get rid of him just because of the fact that he is going to demand a lot of money. This guy's a guy that is an all-star that averaged 20 points per game last season, and a lot of teams would be very interested in acquiring his services and paying the money that he thinks he is owed. So if you're Austin Reeves, I would definitely think about getting up out of LA because I don't see them winning a championship in the next couple of years, and I wouldn't really waste your physical prime, which is what he is entering into now, on a team that's really not going to win a championship. And yeah, I mean, once again, you look at the rest of the roster. I don't think it's that great, but you're gonna have to figure it out sooner rather than later. But yeah, once again, I don't understand why LeBron James can't take a pay cut. The guy is a reported billionaire. He doesn't need this money. And he's talking about, I'm not sure about the Lakers roster, and I'm trying to compete for a championship. Okay, well then take a pay cut. That's what athletes have done to win championships. I get LeBron is a great businessman and he wants to win, but he's not really being a great basketball player and really a great teammate at the current moment in time, just because of the fact he's not taking this pay cut, not giving the Lakers that much flexibility. Obviously, they can make trades and stuff like that. I know they obviously have some available draft picks to trade. But right now, like LeBron James not taking a pay cut hurts the Lakers a lot. And yeah, he's entering his 23rd season in the NBA. I mean, and Luka Doncic, hopefully he loses some weight because the Lakers, I don't know, their team is just overall is not a championship looking team. They're going to have to sign some centers in the offseason or make a trade because right now, not looking so great for them. But we'll see once free agency begins. Moving on, though, to our next move for the Los Angeles Lakers. As I just mentioned, Dorian Finney-Smith declining his player option. So from Shams Charania, the Los Angeles Lakers forward Dorian Finney-Smith is declining his $15.4 million player option for the 2025-2026 season and will enter free agency, sources tell ESPN. Multiple contending teams are expected to pursue Finney-Smith beginning Monday night, and a Lakers return is possible. I don't believe Finney-Smith returns to the Lakers. And what does this mean? Well, as I just said, I don't see him returning to the Lakers as a 32-year-old role player, somebody that averaged what I believe 11 points per game last season, somebody who could shoot the three ball well, and overall is a pretty decent wing. He is somebody that can compete for a championship. And can definitely get paid, but he's probably going to have to, I wouldn't say he's going to have to sign a prove it deal with teams, but he's definitely going to sign for a significant amount of money. Maybe he'll get $15.4 million. I think he'll get long-term commitment from teams of maybe 3 years, 2 years, just because of the fact that he is going to be a valuable role player. And guys like Finney-Smith are used on championship level teams to help you win. I mean, I think he'd be the number one role player on a championship team like a Bruce Brown or an Alex Caruso? Probably not. But I think he can be a very good contributing role player for a championship team, which is what I don't think the Los Angeles Lakers are at the current moment in time. So once again, he can get long-term commitment from other teams. He can get a nice salary, and he can get a chance to win a championship. And I think that's what he's valuing here. Good for him. I don't think the Lakers re-sign him. Moving on. A re-signing. Breaking the three-time NBA All-Star Julius Randle intends to sign a new 3-year, $100 million contract or $100 million deal, to stay with the Minnesota Timberwolves, sources tell ESPN. The deal includes a player option for the 2027-2028 season. So what does this mean for the Timberwolves? The Wolves really didn't have another option here because he was included in the Karl Anthony Towns trade. And if you let him go, I mean, you're just admitting defeat on the Karl Anthony Towns trade. Which is, I mean, I don't think any team has won or lost the deal. But Julius Randle, a guy that averaged around 18 points per game last season, on pretty decent shooting, definitely can be a contributing player to a playoff team, a contending team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that possibly could have made the NBA Finals. They just have to prove that, that they can they could just get out of the West. I know Anthony Edwards got hurt last season, and that was the reason they lost in a short amount of games. But they can compete for a championship. They could have, they possibly could have gotten what do you call it to the NBA Finals. Like this was a really really good team, a hot team, and then injuries happened. So I mean, I don't know. The Timberwolves, they were hot. I didn't really pick them in the beginning of the playoffs. I didn't think they were that great, but they figured it out, man. And Randall, I think that he deserves this type of money. What, $33 million a season for 18 points per game, a big contributor on a championship team, a second option scoring wise. I think he deserves that type of money. Moving on. I don't know. I thought this was a interesting move. I don't know if it's like that big, but I thought it was something to talk about. Miami Heat guard Duncan Robinson is declining his $20 million early termination option, become a free agent, and will work with the franchise on a new deal to return or move elsewhere. Sources tell ESPN. So it looks like he could possibly be returning to Miami. But what does this mean? I mean, I think Robinson's time in Miami has definitely run its course. He got a overpaid contract just a couple of years ago to really just ride the bench. I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, especially the fan base. So I think he should just get away from Miami. He can get a decent contract. As I'm saying here, he still has a chance to get paid and contribute. Teams need 3-point shooting in today's NBA. They need role players that are able to shoot the three ball. You saw that with the Oklahoma City Thunder this past season. They had guys that were able to shoot the three and help them go on scoring runs, which is something I think Duncan Robinson can do. And the Miami Heat just never seemed like they want to try and trade for a superstar. So it's definitely interesting what the Miami Heat have done over the past couple of years here with that. But overall, with this move, I think Duncan Robinson should move on. Once again, I think he can get paid. Probably not $20 million, but a season. But I definitely think he can get some commitment from a team, and he could possibly, earn some money in the next couple of years if you're able to prove that he is a good 3-point shooter, somebody that averaged around over the course of his over the course of the past couple of seasons. Sorry, can average 38, 39, and possibly 40% from three. So I would definitely see what I can do here if I'm Duncan Robinson, possibly on the free agent market. And then the big trade, very interesting trade, honestly. Just in, the Utah Jazz are trading Colin Sexton and a 2030 second round pick to the Charlotte Hornets for Yusuf Nurkic, sources tell ESPN. What does this mean for the Charlotte Hornets? I would say this is a great move for the Hornets if they were contenders or at least a playoff team. But I mean, with the way they conducted their draft, they got some shooting that can come off the bench. I think that this deal can possibly make them into maybe a play-in team or even a playoff team in general. Like the East is going to be wide open next season. I personally think that Colin Sexton should take the ball up just because I don't think LaMelo is a true point guard. I think he should move to a two guard. LaMelo, I think he's not that efficient. He tries to make way too many flashy plays. I think he should be moved to a two guard. I think he should move without the basketball. He's been able to do that. It's been a big part of his game since his high school days. I think that he should be moved to a shooting guard. I think that he should get in the ball and catch and shoot scenarios because he can shoot the three ball. We know that. I think he cuts to the basket really well. He can finish at the rim. I think that LaMelo Ball should be moved to a two guard. I don't think he should be taking the ball up. I think Colin Sexton, a very good facilitator, can also score the ball a lot. He probably will not be averaging 18 points per game on the Charlotte Hornets just because you have Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. I think this is a fleece of a trade. You get a pick, which, I mean, 2030 second round pick is not really going to do much, but it's a pick. And you could use it in possible trades in the future. And once again, Colin Sexton, I think that it can definitely help this team being a facilitator and someone who can score the basketball. I really love this move for the Charlotte Hornets. And once again, because of the fact that the East is wide open this year, they could possibly be a play-in team if all things go right. LaMelo's just got to stay healthy, which is easier said than done. Moving on, what does this mean for the Utah Jazz? This trade just doesn't make any sense. You trade a young guard who scores 18 points per game for a backup center you can easily get on the market. Yusuf Nurkic is not that special. I loved the move when he went to the Phoenix Suns, but he looked abysmal. His defensive tenacity didn't really seem like it was there. Couldn't really score the basketball on the offensive end. I mean, he's a center, so he's got to be able to rebound. So he does that decently. But it's just nothing really special about his game, and you can easily find that on the market. I get he's a high end, I guess you could say like he's a fifth option, fourth option in the starting lineup. But that just doesn't make sense because you have a Walker Kessler. He's going to be a backup center for Walker Kessler. Like, once again, you can easily find that on the market. It doesn't make any sense. But as I said here, unless the Jazz have a plan for a new premier guard, someone that they could possibly sign a free agency, or unless Ace Bailey's taking up the basketball, I just don't get this move. It just doesn't really make that much sense. Like, the Jazz are trying to rebuild. Colin Sexton is 26 years old. The Jazz could possibly compete in maybe 1 to 2 years, not compete, but at least get into the playoffs in 1 to 2 years. And Colin Sexton can definitely be part of that, unless Sexton just didn't want to be with the Jazz anymore. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense on why they would make this move. And if I can, there we go. A re-signing here. James Harden staying with the Clippers, breaking 11-time NBA All-Star. James Harden is declining his player option, excuse me, and intends to sign a new 2-year, $81.5 million contract to return to the Los Angeles Clippers, sources tell ESPN. So what does this mean for the Los Angeles Clippers? I mean, this makes sense. The Clippers aren't going to be competing for much longer for a championship, in my opinion. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, they're both old, and that's not a knock. I mean, they're just old, but they, you saw in the playoffs last year that when they are healthy and when they are at full force, they can be a really good team. You saw Kawhi Leonard, you saw James Harden play great games in the NBA playoffs, but then when Game 7 hit, they just completely collapsed. So if they are at full force, they're on their game, and they're healthy throughout the course of the season. Now, once again, easier said than done, but if that happens, they can definitely make a run to the title, and I full-heartedly believe that. The Clippers have a pretty good team on their hands. I thought Zubac should have won Defensive Player of the Year. You have Leonard, you have Harden. I think that this can be a team that can compete if you can just stay healthy. But I mean, the Clippers couldn't really not sign James Harden though, just because of the fact that he's old. And well, one, he's old, and he wasn't. It makes sense for Harden too, because as I just said, he's old and he's not really going to get money from anywhere else. And the Clippers couldn't admit defeat on the James Harden trade, so they had to re-sign him. So it just kind of makes sense for both sides. And then this re-signing here is the second to last topic we're going to discuss. Bobby Portis intends to sign a 3-year, $44 million contract to return to the Milwaukee Bucks with a player option for the 2027-2028 season. Sources tell ESPN. Bucks and Mark Bart Bartelstein, I think that's how you say it, of Priority Sports reach a new deal for the six-man extraordinate and fan favorite in Milwaukee. What does this mean for the Bucks? I like it, honestly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You get Portis back on pretty. I don't know if I'd say cheap deal, but for the way role players are getting paid nowadays, I think it's pretty good. About $14 million per season. I mean, he can score the ball pretty well. He rebounds. He plays defense. He brings a lot of energy to the team. He's a leader off the bench. That's something you like to see out of really any player. And the Bucks are operating in a way that Giannis is going to be staying with the franchise for next season. Which, I mean, honestly, that's what you have to do. You have to. Giannis has always been saying that unless the Bucks are not trying to compete for a championship, then he will stay with Milwaukee. And that's what the Bucks are trying to show here, that they are competing for a championship. And honestly, I think Milwaukee should trade Giannis regardless, just because you don't own your draft picks till 2031. And then when Damian Lillard comes back, he's going to be owed a lot of money and coming off a torn Achilles. And he's getting up there in age. So it just doesn't really make much sense for Milwaukee to hold on to Giannis. But I mean, I guess for the money and for the season ticket holders, they can't do that, and they have to stick with Giannis regardless, unless he asks for a trade. But anyway, a re-signing here. Houston Rockets forward Jabari Smith Jr. intends to sign a 5-year, $122 million rookie contract extension. Sources tell ESPN. Rockets officials and Smith agent Wallace Prather of Lift Sports Management negotiated the fully guaranteed deal through 2030 through 2031 season. I don't like this, man. I mean, what does this mean for the Rockets? I mean, listen, the Rockets couldn't get rid of him. If you give up on him, you're just admitting defeat. And I mean, if you were offered a good package for him, I think the Rockets would trade him in 10 seconds. But that you're not going to get that. He averaged 12 points per game on 44% shooting. He shoots around 35% from three, 80 something percent from the free throw line. So there's just nobody's going to want him. You don't want to admit on you don't want to admit on the fact that you bust is a bust. I mean, he's not for a third overall pick, it's pretty much of a bust of a deal. It just doesn't make you can't get rid of him. You can't admit defeat. You have to at least give him an opportunity with this new contract extension. But I mean, it's kind of a shame that it's kind of a shame for the Rockets because they really didn't have much of a choice. I mean, the Rockets are just trying to re-sign their guys. It's not a problem, but this is definitely an overpay. It's a fully guaranteed contract. But what are you going to do if you're Houston? You had the 2 to 3 year window to win the championship. You got to take full advantage of that right now. And I mean, you're re-signing your guys. It looks like they're coming back with the roster that they had last season. I can't hate on it though, because they are in full force to possibly win a championship. So yeah, that is everything we need to discuss in this video. The Houston Rockets, ending on that with them re-signing Jabari Smith. The highlight of this video, I think LeBron James kind of handicapping the Lakers here. Their flexibility is limited while they can make moves and trades. He should be taking a pay cut just because of the fact that he is 40-something years old and he is a billionaire. It just doesn't make much sense for him to take $52 million. But yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe To my brother in the Great Vlogs, make sure you guys go subscribe. To my second channel at Ryan the Comeback Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Ryan Sully Sports Media. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.